I try to understand how our brain is working just now in a human head. And I went in search of discoveries. Last time, present day discoveries about brain functioning. And Maurizio Corbetta, working in the USA and came back in Italy with some idea about psychology, human psychology. And this is an article, interesting, I think. And I extracted from this article the main thought for you: an archetype of human cognition defined by time preference for reward and their brain correlates an evolutionary trade-off approach. What is a trade-off? A trade-off is a balancing of factors, all of which are not attainable at the same time. It occurs facing a choice in which you must necessarily lose something. You can't have your cake and eat it too. This is the basic fundamental question. And this is what we have to face every day. We cannot have everything. We have to lose something when we make a choice. An example, a biological example of this choice is if you compare the mass of livings and the longevity. These are all dots that finish in a triangle. You can have three archetypes of animals: large animals that live longer than the others, or small animals that live very, very short. And you can have also animals that are that might have a relatively large long life, and they are small. These points of these triangles correspond to three archetypes of animals: large with high longevity, small with high longevity, or small animal with low longevity. So what about humans? DDT means delay discounting task. It's a mechanism you have in the head that allow humans to make trade-off choice, that help us to do this trade-off choice. And this is the article present the results of an experience. 1,200 participants have to face trade-off, to choose a smaller amount of money immediately or a larger amount of money, but given at a later point in the time. $200 or $40,000, but late in the time. You can choose 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years of delay. And the results of this trade-off is reported on this triangle. There are people that cannot wait. The sooner the best. They take everything sooner, today, not tomorrow. Then there are people that can't wait if the amount is very large. And then there are people that can wait for small and for large sum of money. And then what they did is to associate to red, blue, and green people other character. For example, blue people showed the highest score in crystallized and fluid intelligence, vocabulary knowledge, working memory, spatial orientation, adaptation. Red people show at the lowest level of this performance. No crystallized and fluid intelligence, vocabulary and spatial orientation, very low, everything low. And green people in between these two types, archetype of people. Then in this research, they try to see which part of the brain is used by these people. They find out that blue archetype use a lot of their brain, much more than red archetype. This is the volume of involved brain when trying to answer a question. And this is the brain under work, and in blue archetype, there are a lot of brain that is involved, much more than, not the same part of the brain are involved in blue and red archetype. This is the reality in human brain. So I try to apply these discoveries to our subject, climate trade-off, finally, because climate change is a trade-off, and even something that far away in the time. So it involves the DDT we have in our brain. So it looks like red strategy is the one preferred by human today. They prefer to solve today question and let the other question suspended, not solved. So the question is, probably we have a DDT poorly regulated. We are rather red archetype. And the second conclusion, as the condition in climatic condition will make life harder for human, and as the red strategy is that of stressed and unreflective people taken in difficult context, it will be probably the strategy human will put in action in the future. Thank you for your attention. Adriano, the floor is yours.